Hello, everyone. Okay, nobody's here because there was a glitch. StreamYard deleted my live stream, and I don't know why. And I just went 30 minutes ago to like hook everything up, um, and there was no stream. Why? And I just went 30 minutes ago to like hook everything up. So here we are. So anyway, there's three of you here. Thank you for figuring that out. I mean, it was really weird that I was just chatting with somebody at StreamYard. They're like, I don't know why your live stream was deleted. So I've just hooked up a whole new live stream in the last 15 minutes and a dead heat run to get a different stream link. Basically, the link is what they deleted. So weird. I don't know why that happened. StreamYard has been fabulous. If you've ever live streamed, StreamYard's great. So I don't know what the heck happened. They basically deleted all my information as well on StreamYard. So I had this whole thing set up 2 weeks ago and they just deleted everything. I was like, ah! So anyway, I'm actually really calm right now, to be honest. I'm not freaking out. I'm just like, ugh, like I just feel like it's hard for you guys, right? Because you're trying to like come in and you're trying to be a part of it and it's not there. And it's like, anyway, I think Mercury just went into retrograde. If you know that and you're one of the people watching, then text that. I do think, or maybe it's April 5th, if you're into this sort of thing, Mercury going into retrograde makes your electronics go funky. And I have experienced that, and I'm sure all of you have. So that could be what's happening. I don't know. But anyway, there's a few of you here. So let's do it. All right. So we have a live chat. So those of you who haven't found the live chat button, there is on the lower, I want to say right corner, there should be a button, three little buttons. And I think if you click on that, you can join the chat, or maybe it's on the right side. One of you was like, I couldn't find it. So I understand that. Sometimes these things are a little complicated. So just look for that so that you can chat with me because I want your questions. That's what this is about. So I really want to get your feedback and chat with you. So I have no makeup on right now, and my hair is acting a little bit strange right here because I didn't I didn't look in the mirror before I started this because I was freaking out trying to get the stream hooked up. So anyway, never mind. I'm without makeup on YouTube all the time. So here we are, and we're going to talk about concealer and eyebrows, which is a subject that so many of you, in fact, I just had a woman email me this morning about it, asking questions. I'm like, just join us, right? Okay, so first of all, in fact, one of you, I don't know if you're here, was messaging me on Messenger about crepey lids, which has a lot to do with concealer, right? If you have you're putting concealer on crepey lids, it looks really bad. So we're gonna hit that as well because I think that's a really important question, actually. So I would love to actually share a link with you. In fact, I think I will do that really quickly. It won't take me but a second to get this link because this is the link I shared with her where I did an interview with Ben Fuchs on crepey lids. So I think this is super relevant because, here we go. Because, this is such a big subject when you're dealing with concealer, right? So this is an interview I did with him. This was a little while ago, maybe a year or so ago. And this interview, I'm going to post it here. So I think you could probably on your computer, on your phone, or wherever you are, I think you could copy and paste it. So that, but basically, if you go to my website, I'll put it here in the chat, to the Beauty Shaman YouTube, and you type in my search bar, okay? It can't be in YouTube. YouTube has the search bar on the top. Mine is a little bit lower in the community section. I know this is all probably way TMI, but if you can't cut and paste this link. So this is the link. Actually, it's not a long link. Where I did the interview, and the whole interview was basically focused on your skin around your eye area. So that's not what we're going to totally delve into here because we're talking about concealer and eyebrows. So we're going to really get more into the makeup side of it. But I did want to give you that because so much of crepey lids is, in fact, a health issue. And many people say, oh, that's just aging. It actually is associated with aging just because we tend to have that more as we get older because the collagen depletes and our cells don't turn over as quickly. And there's all these factors. However, it also can be treated it's best treated, let me put it this way, internally. So to use your EFAs, your omega essential fatty acids, and taking high levels of vitamin C and D and E and A. I talk about these vitamins a ton. So if you are new to me or don't kind of know this, let me know your interest level. I can do a whole, in fact, I was thinking about having Ben on and us just talking about health and nutrition for skin, because he's such a wealth of knowledge. So just if you are interested in that, please go ahead and type in the comments there, or say hello to me in the comments so I know your name, so I can greet you and I can, answer questions and be chatty with you. I really want that. That's why I do these things, because I want to interact more with all of you. And I love doing it. I love teaching. So, okay. So let's start. So if topically, so we're not going to talk about internal, we're going to talk about, because that's another thing we're going to go into, but we're going to talk about topically what you can do. There's actually, the best thing you can do topically is to use your vitamin C serum on your eyelids. And the woman who I was messaging, I don't know if I won't look for her name. I was going to say I could just try to find her name. This morning about it was saying that the vitamin C serums that she's used on her lids cause her eye irritation. So that's a factor. The C serum I use does not cause me any irritation. So I use the Truth Treatments Transdermal C Serum. I'll type this in the thing here. So you do have a 20% discount on my, why is this not, there it is. Okay, got the ticker up. Okay, so you see the 20% off the skincare in my store. So if you are interested, like I say, they deleted everything. Like I had all this set up and it's like gone. Anyway, so the Transdermal C Serum is the one I use. It's very strong though. So if you have sensitive eyes, sometimes that doesn't work for people. I'm fine. I can use that. I've been using it for ages. I have another C Serum on my site, the Image MD. This is right here. The C Serum is someplace else in my house. So this also, for me, it doesn't bother me. But again, if you have sensitive eyes, I think you want to be sure that you're not using L-ascorbic acid on your eyes. I'll type that here in the comments here. It's called L-ascorbic acid. Is a type, not on eyes. Okay. It's a type of vitamin C. It is a very inexpensive form of vitamin C, and it's more irritating. So you want tetrahexadecyl ascorbate, which is also called THDA. So this is just, if you have a way to take notes, it's probably better than me constantly typing in here. But I do think these are really, really important, because when you read the ingredient deck of whatever product you're using, if you're having irritation, most likely it's L-ascorbic acid, but THDA can also cause it. But I'm just speaking to that because of our eye area, for some people, is more sensitive. I do not have sensitive skin. I don't have sensitive eyes. I have a little bit of allergies, which is why I have constant kind of puffiness here. But each one of us is individual. I want to speak to everybody's issues here. So again, please write in the chat or ask me questions so I can be sure I touch on what you want to know during this hour. Okay. So as far as, so crepey lids with concealer is very, very dicey. It's better to not put concealer on crepey lids depending on how bad the crepiness is. So I think treating your crepiness internally, with that link that I gave you with Ben, with his strategies that he brought up, are super important. And then if you don't have crepey lids or you have dry lids, so I want to speak to that, because concealer on dry lids is also kind of a mess, right? It just doesn't work. So I'm going to show a few products that I use consistently that I've used on set. I mean, for those of you who don't know, I now I'm completely online, but I worked as a professional makeup artist for about 30 years. And I spent many years at CNN and Fox National and International News in Washington, D.C. So my experience is like pretty epic. So there's definitely products that I really love and that I stick to, and but not to say there's not other great products out there. I mean, the marketplace is so saturated when it comes to products, so you're not without. If you have a question about a product, again, write in the chat room. We can go into that. But this is one of them I love. As you can tell, it's very loved. It's Amazing Concealer. I'll hold it up here. So there's an alarm going off in my neighborhood. So this is Amazing Concealer. I love this. This blends in beautifully. So if you have dry skin, be sure you're hydrating your skin ahead of time. doing the internal methods like we talked about, and hydrating externally, whether it's a serum. I love serums because they're more nutrient dense. Creams tend to not be as nutrient dense if you're using an eye cream or something like that. I don't use eye creams. I never have. I just stick with my serums around my eyes and moisturizer. I use it around my eyes. Most are created to be used in that way. But if you like eye creams and you have one you like, I think that's obviously totally fine. So go ahead and hydrate around. Now, I did some hydration earlier, so I'm not going to put any more on right now. As you can see, it's pretty hydrated right now. I'm sorry I'm such a mess. I was like trying to get that link this morning rather than cleaning myself up. Anyway, so I think, like you can see, I have a lot of like discoloration and weirdness over my eyelids. So I always put concealer on my eyelids. So concealer, so I'm talking about eyelids and under eye because we're going to put concealer all around our eyeballs, okay? Because mostly when we're talking about opening up your eyes, eyebrows and concealer are really what it's all about. It's not just about eyeshadow and that sort of thing, although that is very key. And at the end of the video, I'll go through a very basic eyeliner eyeshadow so that all of you feel very empowered to like make your eyes pop. Okay. So but the key component is to open up your eye, and you do that by basically clearing the eye area of discoloration and, you know, I've got some redness or whatever it is you have around your eye. Some of you have a lot of pink around your eye area. I did a makeup on camera on a woman, Eva, I can't remember her name now. When a woman contacted me, I had her over and she had a ton of red. So you want to get right up in there and really get rid of any discoloration. Okay, so we're going to start, and I'm going to use the Amazing Concealer here. Now I have a little palette that I use. And I'm also going to put foundation on, like we're going to, you know, we're going to do the whole thing. So I'm going to use my fingers to put this on. You know, you can use, obviously you can use brushes. When I make up other people, I'd use brushes to apply it, and then I use my fingers to warm it up. So this is the brush that I use quite a lot. Probably needs a good clean. I used it on myself recently, on a tutorial or something. So, you know, I want to get like right in to this part of your eye. So I do a lot of one-on-one sessions with people, and what I find is all of you kind of just take it and smear it right around here, as opposed to where it needs to go, which is in here, right? This is where all the darkness takes place. And especially if you have liver issues, liver, kidney, gallbladder, any of those really come out right in here. So doing I'm a big fan of cleanses. I won't get into that today. That's maybe a whole nother subject we can do, but cleanses really help to flush out that part of your system, and it really helps your skin. It has a dramatic effect. The first liver cleanse I did, just completely, like, all of this just disappeared. I mean, I drink coffee, so I kind of always have a little bit of my liver's always like, stop drinking coffee. Okay, so I'm going to put this on, and I'll show you where to put it. I am going to use a brush to put it on so you can see exactly where I'm going to put it, and then I'm going to use my finger to dab it in. Okay, so we're going to start, and I'm going to go. Now, everything's backwards here when StreamYard. So when I put this on this side, so I'm going to go back. It's a little bit weird for me, right? When I put this on. Okay, so we're going to do this. So I'm going to go right in here. Nobody's writing in the comment section. Is that because it's not working? It should be working. It's really interesting. Okay. So I'm going to go right in here, and I'm going to take that up a bit. And as you can see, I have all that discoloration. Actually, it's just freckles, I think, on me is what it is. I used to think it was something else, but it's not. Oh, hi, Donna! Oh my God, Donna Blau! It's my old friend, Donna Blau. Hi, Donna. So nice to see you. Okay, so you can see I just put it right in here. And I'm going to, ooh, gosh, this is backwards. Okay, so I'm going to take it a little bit below, but not much. Yeah, thanks, Donna. So not much, just a bit. So you see where I'm putting that? So we're going to put more on, but I'm just going to start right there so that you can see exactly. Tamara Adams, Tamara from Oregon. Hi, Tamara. I'm from Washington State originally, Tamara. Okay, so I'm going to take my ring finger and I'm just going to press that in. So you just tap it and press it. And this opens up your whole face. I just did a coaching session with a woman, another woman named Tamara. And this completely changed her entire face. Like she was shocked because this is where all of our darkness goes, right? So the minute, hi, Kat, Cape Coral. Yeah, I love Florida. My business is based out of Florida. Okay. I don't live in Florida though. Sorry, Kat, I live in Ecuador. Okay, so you can see the difference. Now that isn't even well blended, and you can see the difference, how much that popped the inside of my eye. Sorry, backwards. See how that works? Really, really cool. All right, and be careful not to take it, oops, other eye, to take it, like I'm gonna put a little bit right here because I've got some darkness, but the mistake I see most of you making is you take your concealer and you just, it's like this, we follow the YouTubers or the Instagram beauty people who are half our age, and they can do that. They can get away with that. But as you get older, you have to be more specific about where you put it. Now, I'm very pro aging. If you follow me, very pro aging. I don't use any injectables or plastic surgery, or anything like that. Like everything I use is very clean, non-toxic, and is holistic. Okay, that's my approach. So I'm not going to say aging is bad or dark circles are bad. Okay, I'm just going to say this is how you cover them if you want to. Personally, I don't wear makeup every day. So in case you're wondering, I'm very low key. All right, so I'm going to take this and I'm going to put that right in that section right there. Hi, Atna. Oh, great. Thank you for subscribing, Atna. I totally appreciate that. Atna, I hope I said your name right. Okay, so I'm just going to tap that in just on that outer edge. So see, we started here. I'll have that whole backwards thing sorted out by the time we're done. Right in here. And then I'm going to go right there. But see how much even that just cleaned that up. Okay, then I'm going to take my concealer. So I'm going at this slowly just to show you how to do it. But obviously when I do this on myself every day, not every day, I put makeup on like twice a week. Like seriously, I'm so like not a diva. So now I'm going to put it over my lid. So let's see. Complete. Now, if you have oily lids, okay, this is backwards. It's really going to drive me crazy. Let me just put this up here. I was hoping I didn't have to do this, but I have to because I can't. Oh, it's hard to see. Let's go this way. Because I chose to do this eye. There you go. Now you can see, right? Okay, so I'm going to put this all over my eye. If you have oily lids, this is not a good idea because it'll crease up, right? For those of you with oily lids, if you have oily lids, oh yeah, okay, Kat, we're going to talk about that. That's a great, thanks for directing me. I appreciate that actually, because I kind of launched into skincare and didn't do shade. Okay, so so if you have oily lids, let me quickly touch on the oily lid issue. Oily lids, you're like, if you have oily skin, God bless you, that's fabulous. If you have oily lids, use an eye base. So I am gonna touch on eye bases. Eye bases really are only for people who have oily lids or a lot of discoloration that your concealer doesn't cover. I would say, let me see. I'm sorry I don't have it out again. I was the whole 30 minutes before we started, should be preparing, and instead I was getting a different stream because they canceled my stream, which is super frustrating. Okay, so this is the just an eye base. So it matches my skin. I would say try to get one that matches your skin, maybe slightly lighter. So there's a huge range of eyelid bases. And what it does is it keeps your makeup from creasing up. This is called Painterly by MAC. And by the way, if you're a member of my newsletter, I do send out a complete breakdown with links of everything I'm referring to. So if you're not a member of my newsletter, just go to my website at thebeautyshaman.com and you'll see a little section there. Just fill it out. And then I'll send that out probably Monday, Tuesday of next week, just so in case you're wondering like where you get this stuff. Do I use a primer on my lids? Personally, not always. I mean, concealer pretty much covers it. I have a little bit that isn't covered by concealer. If I'm going on camera and I'm presenting and I need to look really perfect, yes. On my everyday, no, because I'm lazy, intrinsically very lazy. I don't want to do 50 steps. So, and I'm not, I'm not a diva, like I explained. So, I try to keep things really simple for myself, whoops, and everybody else. So, use that same base. Oh, awesome. That's cool, Donna. Okay, so how do you know? Let me just pause for a second and talk about how you know what color to use. Who asked that? Cat. Okay, how to pick the correct shade. So this is an entire area of expertise, is how to find the right shade. I'm going to show two things of how to find the right shade. Sorry, just a second. Again, this was all prepped, but you can blame StreamYard. All right, so here's one of MAC. So this is light for light skin. I have about 4 of these different palettes, okay, for different skin colors. This is another one. So you're basically, I'm going to give you the basics, and then I'm going to get slightly technical. And if I lose you, I'm sorry. But some of this does get technical. If you're a painter or you're really good with color, some of this will make sense. I'm going to be brief so we can move on to how to, because I want to be sure I use this time correctly. Yes, MAC is a great eye base. I love MAC. It's not a non-toxic clean. I'm always trying to add non-toxic clean beauty products to my repertoire. I'm very pro non-toxic, some of it because I don't really care for it, just because I'm a pro artist. So I'm super duper fussy about what I use. I find, I know too much. That's my 90% of my issue. Okay, Donna, love you. Thank you so much for stopping in. That was lovely that you came. Okay, so let's talk about what color. So as you can see, this worked really well on me. Now I don't have foundation on, I have nothing else on. So this went about a shade lighter, but this has a warm undertone. So you see that yellow? Hopefully you can see this on me. So my skin has a fair bit of redness. I'm a runner. So I'm outside every single day running or biking or something like that. I'm an outdoorsy girl. So, so having said that, my skin has a reddish overtone, but it has a yellow undertone. I'm actually going to do a video on undertones. Actually, I've got an article posting soon on 60andMe. If you follow 60andMe, I've got an article coming out on how to know your undertones. So anyway, so on me, you can look at the inside of my wrist. That's yellow. That's the best way to tell, is look at your inside, but it's not foolproof. A lot of people look at their undertones and, they might have a yellow here and a pink undertone on their face. It's not foolproof, but you want to find your undertone. Go a shade lighter. Now, it's not that simple. And the reason is because we often have different shades around our eyes. For example, depending on different ethnic groups, and not even ethnic necessarily, but more commonly different ethnic groups, can have more gray around their eye, right? So if I used to work on a talent who had the most incredible gray. He was like a raccoon with gray, and he was actually Caucasian. So it was very complex to cover that. That actually really tested my skill set, because it was like, to cover gray, if you have gray, is one of the harder ones to cover. So what I ended up doing was using, because if you use anything with a pink undertone, it goes ash. If you use yellow, it goes ash. So I basically had to use kind of a blend. So what I did is I started off and I color corrected it first. This is how complex this can be. I color corrected it to match the rest of his skin, was a warm undertone. Then I used a little bit of a highlighter with a tiny bit of rose in it to pop it. And that worked. So again, complicated. So I would say if you have pink around your eyes, so if you have gray, I'm going to answer this question. If you have gray around your eyes, you want to get a neutral with slightly rose in it. Okay. So it's a neutral with a rose. So obviously I don't know what skin color you all are. I can't see you, although some of you have pictures. Looks like everybody here right now is Caucasian. But I make up all skin colors. Okay. So if you have gray around your eyes, you want to go for something that looks sort of like this one, because it has a slightly peachy tone to it. You see that slightly peachy pink. If you go too pink, it's going to go ash. Now, if you have a lot of pink around your face, around your eyes, then it's yellow, right? You want to use a yellow undertone concealer. All right, let me point out a yellow. See how yellow, whoops, backwards. It's that one. See how yellow that is? That's going to help if you have a lot of pink. I tend to have pink and red and purple around my eyes. So yellow works really well for me, although I like a tiny bit of peach because I have so much skin color right now. So I think the question is always pinky peach or pinky or yellow, right? That's kind of the dividing line there. Most people, if you don't have hardly anything around your eye and you just want to pop it, and depending on your skin color, I would go slightly pink. That looks really, really pretty, tends to just really pop it beautifully. If you have specific questions and you're like, God, I can't find the right concealer, I do 20-minute completely complimentary sessions. So you can just make an appointment with me and I'll just explain for you specifically what that looks like. Or I do paid after that. So you can go on my website at the coaching section and see, I mean, I do anywhere from 45 minutes to like an hour and a half. So in any case, I'm sure that was all very overwhelming for all of you. I think because I'm talking to women who are all Caucasian, I would say, you know, think of one shade lighter than your skin and yellow if you have a lot of pinky purple around your eyes, and peachy tones if you tend to have more gray, brown, that sort of thing. So the best thing to do really is to just go someplace and try it on, because you'll be able to see. You'll go, oh, that works. Oh my God, that doesn't work. So the key with concealer, the number one thing is to be sure you're getting one that doesn't crease and fine lines. I mean, I do like the MAC concealer. It comes like individually. This is a pro palette. It comes individually. It works really well. I find it doesn't set in fine lines. The Amazing Concealer absolutely does not set in fine lines. I mean, I put this on, like you can see, you know, I didn't use a ton, but it doesn't, you know, I can smile. It doesn't really set. So, I mean, over time, sometimes they can, and sometimes you need to use a little bit of powder on top. So this is one of the powders I really like and use. So this is Ben Nye. This is neutral. So this is good for, um, kind of, yeah, I can use it on Latin's colored skin, all the way up to Caucasian. So that whole section. And then if you're darker than that, then I get a darker color, right? But this tends to set beautiful, very neutral. You don't even see it. Actually, it's a bit brightening, which is lovely. So I'm just going to put a bit of this around my eye just to show you. But I use a brush. I put very, very little on. I think if you have normal to dry skin, really stay away from heavy powders. So one of the brands, I'm going to hide the brand, sent this to me. This is a foundation powder. And you put it on with a brush. So for me, this is like one of their top selling things for our age group. And honestly, I find, I mean, they were surprised I didn't like it. I didn't do a video on it because I was like, I don't like it. So, but I find that foundation powders are just too dense. They're just too thick. So I really like to stick with a liquid foundation for, typically I like something with a little dewiness to it. Not too matte. Matte isn't bad, but if you have dry skin, mattes can sometimes not have enough oils to them. And I say all this because we are going to put foundation on. And we do often, I put foundation around my eyes a lot as well. So sometimes it can be too much with concealer. So you kind of have to go according to your skin. I hope I'm not losing you all or going too fast here. Tend to just kind of, bleh. My best friend once told me, it's too fast, stop. So, all right. So we've got, see how like that just brightened. Concealers are great brighteners. So I've used that. Now I'm also going to take this and I'm going to run it. This is the other area I would use this on, is around your nose. So the woman I just did a coaching session with the other day, she had a lot of brown around her nose. So just kind of lightly put it there. Now I have a redness on my nose because of, again, outside runner. I'm just going to put that right down the center of my nose and then tap this in. So this is a great way to use concealer. And the reason I put it on my nose is to break it up. Otherwise I've got like a darker nose and then everything else is a bit lighter, right? So I'm just breaking it up a bit. But see, I'm just putting that around my nose, but look how much that brightened my nose area. Look at that. That's pretty cool, right? And it really brightened around my eyes. You can also take it and use it a little bit in your brow bone. If you get your eyebrow shaped, we'll get at eyebrows here in a minute. But that can really brighten it up. You can also use highlighters. So I don't know if I have a highlighter in front of me because, again, I did not have time to prepare because here we go. Here's a highlighter. So this is a MAC highlighter. It's very loved. You can also use, I have liquid highlighters I use sometimes. I'll just show you that. So this is for Caucasian skin. So I use this. It's just pink. And this is Makeup Forever. It's a liquid. Oh, it's sturdy here. So this works beautifully, and you can just tap that, and anything to brighten. So I'm always looking at, I want to brighten this part of your face, and I want to brighten this part of your face. And then everything over here is going to be shading. So maybe another live stream, we will do how to contour and shade and all of that. There actually is kind of a bit of an art to it, but it's not complicated. Any of you can do it. Swear to God, I've taught women how to do their makeup for being on camera and all of that. You can totally do it. Takes a little bit of practice and blending, but it's totally doable. Okay, so here we've got, all right, we're 30 minutes in. So I'm going to shift over from concealer. Does anybody have any more concealer questions before we move into eyebrows? I'm going to keep going. If you do, just be sure to write in the live chat here. Okay, so you can see this eye, like look how much brighter and more open this eye is than this eye. And it's because of the concealer. That's all that is. I have nothing else on my face. Now, moving into brows, making your eyes look bigger. A, it's concealer. B, it's brows. So brows, you can see, I mean, I have serious brows. Okay. I know. I'm sorry for those of you that are like, why do you have good brows? I don't know. I just have good brows. So I actually shape my brows. Now you can go and have that done like an esthetician or something. They can do this for you. And then what I do is, because I'm a little lazy and I'm also cheap, which goes great together. So I actually do it myself. I tweeze. I've got a pair of tweezers and I just go in and tweeze that myself. I mean, I'm an esthetician, so I can kind of get away with different things. But I would say if you can get it shaped and then tweeze it yourself or use a little razor or whatever that looks like for you is fantastic. You can, very easily just maintain a really nice shape. But if you get it shaped, and shaping really just has to do with more your demographic than anything else, believe it or not. Like I've traveled to different parts of the world and women in one part of the world shape their eyebrows one way and women in another. So it's very cultural. So I'm not going to dictate, how you want to have it done. I'll give you general guidelines here though. So you want to start, let's use this tip. Your eyebrow needs to start from your nose up. Pretty much. Sorry, again, backwards. But see that starts right about there. And then from your iris straight up is where that needs to start curving, where your eyebrow starts to curve. And then you're going to go your nose to the outer edge of your eye is where it needs to go to. Okay, mine are a little short, so I'm going to lengthen them. Oh, you like threading, Edna? That's great. Yeah, I've heard good things about threading. I've never had it done. But threading works well. Waxing as well can be really effective. So that's the general shape that we're going to follow here. Okay, so I'm going to fill mine in and show you basically how I fill it in. All right, I'm going to use a pencil, but you can use anything you want. So there's two different things I use a lot on people. So one is a pencil and one is a gel. So gels can be really great if you have hair, right? Because I have hair. So for me, gels are great because it adds a little bit of color. This is a Merit. I like Merit Beauty. I do a lot of kind of promos with them because I like their products. They're great. So this is actually a brownie shade. You can see that. So it's great. It has a little bit of color. And then it just helps your eyebrows to go a little more north because that's the fashion right now. And we are going to talk about eyebrow trends here. So we're going to make them go a little bit more north and we're going to make them go be just add a little tiny bit of color to them. But before we do that, I'm going to use a pencil so you can see how to use a pencil. So any pencil will do. I don't particularly love this pencil. It's just in front of me. This is El Maquillage. I've done a series of promos for El Maquillage. I'm not a huge fan, but we do promos. I do promos sometimes. Okay, so what I'm going to do is show you how to fill this in. So what I do is I look at how straight your eyebrows are. So most people, like my eyebrow on this side is lower than the one on this side. You can see that, right? They're not even. And that's fine. I don't like people's faces to be absolutely perfect. Like your face is unique. It's you, it's your expression. I think this idea of creating women to look like an ideal is completely bogus. And I am not for that. I think what's important is that you show your qualities, right? Not trying to measure up to the 12-year-old with thighs that don't meet at the top. Like, I don't even, that's just so ridiculous to me. I find our culture in America completely ridiculous. If all of you are from the US, I don't know. It's like drives me crazy. All right. So you can, but I will give you general guidelines here. So you see one eyebrow is not the same as the other. So what I can do is use something just to look at, like you can put a string or something on top. Sorry, I have to do it this way. I can't really see. And then you can see where that line should be. So when you start, I'm going to do this eye. So I'm going to start and put that line at the very top. That's where I want the line to be. Okay. So I get that line down and then I go down here and I say, okay, it needs to go to about here. So I've got my general idea. This part of your eye, if you have a lot of hair right there, like I do, just leave it. Don't even fill it in. We often can get that very blocky, eyebrow look, which on older skin, you want everything to be very blended, very diffuse. That's kind of the idea. We don't want to have it look liney, right? If you look at people, one of my favorite people's makeup artists is actually Jane Fonda. And I did a Jane Fonda makeup. I didn't do her makeup. I did a makeup showing Jane Fonda's makeup. It's on my channel. And interestingly, her makeup artist emailed me. It was so awesome. And he basically said, you did a great job. That's exactly how she does it. So the way that they do it is he uses black on her eye, but he blends it. So you can use almost any color you want as long as you're a good blender. And this also goes for eyebrows, although I would say we're going to make it really soft. Okay, so I've got that. And then I'm going to go with the natural flow of the hair, which kind of goes down. And I'm going to bring that line down to meet that spot. So I'm just sticking with the very, very top of my eyebrow. Again, I'm not going all the way over because it'll just look too blocky. And then I've got patchiness, and then I go underneath and I get that very, very bottom line and kind of fill it in. Waterproof eye pencils are great because, waterproof. But also generally speaking, they stay on better. But see how nice of an arch that gave it. And it just fills it in. And you can go more or less according to you. I tend to not like super duper thick brows. The whole super thick brow thing on me, you have to really work your makeup to make it work. Because I don't really wear a lot of makeup, I don't do them super thick. But you can see the difference on that lovely arch. I mean, this one is just a different shape, so we'll bring it up a little bit. Okay, so let's do the gel. You can do either or both. It's completely up to you. But the gel I love because it's just going to comb it up and give it even more height. Whoops. So I use the gel in this section right here that I told you not to use pencil because I find it doesn't add a ton of color. It's just pretty minuscule. And then I comb it up. Now you can see I've got eyebrow hairs. Like can you see that? Like I got some brows. I tend to not trim older women's brows because I want them to look thick. Okay, then I filled that in. So you can see I've got a lovely shape and they're going more north. Okay, I'm going to do the other eye, but without pencil, so you can see how that works. Oh, Etna says she rarely uses brow products, but use dark brown. Yeah, good. I mean, you got to find the color that works for you. I think most of you, if you have gray hair, you want to do blonde, or sometimes you can buy a soft brown. If you have gray brows, sometimes you can find a gray brow gel or gray pencil that works really well. Typically, though, it's blonde. So, and if you're like me and you're still coloring your hair, I don't know. I know I'm still coloring. All right, so I'm going to use this on this brow with no pencil, so you can see the difference there. And bring it down a little bit. So I'm using that to color that in, but see how nicely that worked? So both of them, because this brow is not as the same shape, I kind of reshape it a little bit. Although not a ton, because like I said, I think our faces need to have that individual expression, not to look like little robo women. So yeah, you can see now I've got really serious brows now. They were serious before, they're super serious now. But one of the great things about filling in your eyebrows, ladies, is you can wear more strong lipstick. So many of you are like, oh, all I can wear is this kind of like neutral mucky brown because otherwise color just sort of takes over your face, or you feel that way. Sometimes it's not, it might be just your self-image, right? So what I find is if you shape your brows and you fill them in how I've done, all of a sudden you can wear dark lipstick. It's like not dark, but brighter. Let me put it that way. You can wear brighter lipstick. So I'll give you an example. So let me see, where's my, I'm an artist, so everything's always slightly disorganized, slightly. All right, so this is a lipstick kit that I use professionally, and I really love this kit, as you can see. So I'm going to use this color over here. I tend to really love warm tones on myself. I do a lot with warm tones, but you know, I do cool tones too, obviously, in my videos. But if you have videos that you want me to do that you have not seen, please write that in the chat session there. I would totally love to hear from you. Okay, so I'm going to put this lipstick on. So right now I look really weird, right? Like I've got this eye has concealer on it, so you can see how much that brightened. This doesn't. I have no foundation on. I'm just going to add lipstick so you can see the difference. And sometimes I think you have to look a little bit like it looks a little lopsided. And then once you do your lipstick and your liner and everything, it looks amazing. Just depends on how much effort you want to put in. Okay. All right, so you can see, like, wow, that brightened it right up. I don't even have a lip liner on. I might just throw that on really quickly if I can find it. Here we go. So I like lip liner because otherwise it bleeds, right? And I got a pimple the other day, so I got like a red mark over here from a pimple. I was like, okay, I'm 57 and I'm getting pimples. Anyway, so you can see that. Like, how cool is that? Now it works more, right? Okay, so let's do, okay, let's brighten up the rest of it. I want to show you some other brightening techniques to brighten up your eyes with the brow and concealer idea. Okay, so, all right, so I'm going to put a little foundation. I'm just going to use my finger. I'm just going to toss a little bit of foundation on here just so you get the idea. And I'm going to do this side so you can really see the difference. Now, this is very non-scientific how I'm going to do it. I'm just going to use my finger. I've got my lovely age spot. I'll show you how I cover that. So you can take your foundation or the concealer and just tap it. See that? I just tap it in. Many of you rub. Just tap. And then tap out the edge. But look how much that took that down. Isn't that cool? So this is actually a matte because I have kind of more, not oily, but I guess normal to oily skin. So I can pull off a matte finish pretty well. And it's not super heavy. This is actually called Ben Nye. Again, if you're on my newsletter, I send out links with every single product I've used so you can go check it out. This is called Ben Nye. This is actually a professional brand and I love it. I've been using it for years. It's not expensive. I want to say it's like $12 for a foundation and it's great. So why would I not promote that? Okay, so you can see the difference. So this is, oh, this almost looks too light on this. That's interesting. In this light, it doesn't, but here it does. Huh, okay. All right, so let me do a little bit of bronzer. I'm just going to give you an idea of what this all looks like as it comes together. So I'm going to do a little bit of bronzer. It's a quick bronzer tutorial. So the bronzer I have here, this is Vapor. Although I believe this line has shut down, which I'm very sad about because I really loved this line. So Merit Beauty makes a really good, why don't I use Merit's because they're actually functioning as a company. So this is called Clay. And I'm just going to put a little bit of that. Also do a little here. I'm going to do half my face so you guys can really see the difference here. So if you want to make your jowls go slightly higher, just put some darkness right there. And this is a number 1 brush by Merit. So I love this brush. It just does a really nice job of blending. So I'm just going to blend it in circular motion. Kind of made my spot come back. I'll have to go back and touch that up. Okay, so this isn't a ton, but you can see, look at that. But it starts to make sense with the brows and the eyes, right? It all starts to click. And I'm going to do a tiny bit of blush. So all of this can really take you like 5 minutes, honestly. All right, so here's my blush palette. Very extensive. I'm going to use this. No, not that one. This one. And I'm just going to put that on this cheek. It's a little bit too much. Okay. Okay, so nothing on this side and the concealer and brightener on this side. I am going to put a little bit of eye base just to completely clean up this eye right here. And I'm going to use my finger. I use my fingers a lot. You know, this is, again, this is my pro kit, but I'm not really working professionally anymore. I'm just doing online. Otherwise, I would not be sticking my fingers in my pro kit. You know, I'm much more sanitary than that, but this is my own stuff. So, you know, just use your finger. If nobody else uses your stuff, use your finger. But look at the difference. Even just putting a little bit of a lighter eye base around my eye area. Like, see that? Really, really brightens that up. So that's pretty huge. Okay, we're going to do, because I promised we would do this, is we're going to show just a very simple eye because we are brightening up our eye area. Hold on. There we go. Okay, so this is just a very simple eye, but just to show the absolute difference that doing this stuff can really make, I'm going to use, so here's a palette. This is a Jane Iredale. This is kind of just an everyday look. And I'm going to use this color right here with this brush. So this is I love this brush. I use this all the time on my videos. This is a 217 by MAC. I would say you could get this brush, maybe a liner brush, blush brush, and you almost don't need anything else. If you're very, very, like, you don't want anything epic, right? If you're really into makeup, no, right? Like me. Like, I have so many, like, this is not even, I have so many brushes. Okay. But all right, so I'm going to use this and I'm going to go over my lid. Now, I'm not even putting powder because my lids are not oily. And I'm just going to put this all over my lid. Just one color. Many of you can do this, just one color. Look at what just one color did. Like, it's simple, but it works, right? And I'm going to use a pencil. I'll do a quick pencil tutorial here. So this is by MAC. This is called Teddy. This is just a brown. Many of you use brown. Hi, Melinda. Thank you for joining. You can be late to the party. Okay, so we're going to do a very, very simple eyeliner because right now I'm all eyebrow and lip, right? So we're just going to balance it out a little bit more. And I'm going to go right between my lashes right here. And I'm mainly going to focus on this outer edge. So I'm going in. You see I'm starting at the bottom, getting that line. Many of you try to start doing your liner here and you want to pull it all the way across. That's why it's a disaster area. So you want to start down here and just work with that. You know, I watch a ton of makeup videos and I see a lot of younger generation. They'll take a liquid and they'll just go from tip to here and it'll be perfect. And you know, I can't even do that. I'm like, good for you guys. I can't do that. All right, so I'm just on that outer edge and I'm going to go right on the inside of my eye here. And you can make this thicker or not. I'm not even going to go on the very top of my eye. I'm just going on that outer edge. And I'm going to take a blender brush. Looks like this. And I'm just going to take that and pull it this way. And look at that. So you can see how this eye, you know, it's got that lovely arch and it's opened it way up and it's highlighted the outer edge of my eye. That's kind of where you want to stay, is in the outer edge for the most part. And it's soft and blended, right? So it's not a line. So I think that's one of the key components for making up older women is not having, again, not having that liney look. And you do that just through blending. Just get a good blender brush. You know, you can also do a pencil brush. I think I have a pencil here, a pencil brush to show you somewhere. Just blame StreamYard for making me disorganized this morning. Oh, here we go. Okay, so this is that brush. So just a pencil. This one also works great. I don't, you know, I honestly don't think you need to go out and buy 50 things, right? I just think having exactly what you need. And these blender brushes are so key because look, basically with this eye, I'm almost done. I could do mascara and walk out the door and it would be okay, you know, with the lipstick and the blush. I mean, again, we're just looking at the side of my face. If I wanted to, I'll teach you one other thing here, just to pop it a little bit more because we're talking about concealer and brows and popping your eyes. Again, I'm going to use the 217 because this is like such great all-purpose. I don't even know what it costs, honestly, the 217. I know I do links to it, but I mean, maybe 30 bucks, 25 bucks, I'm not sure. Or if you can get something like this, right? You don't have to buy MAC. You can buy what you want to buy, but you want to get something with that lovely look to it. You know, I just referred a brush line to a woman I worked with called Real Techniques. You can get this at Ulta or even Sephora, I think. Again, I will put that, let me make a note of that to put that in my my newsletter so that you guys can access that. Again, if you're not on my newsletter, go on my newsletter on my website. There's a place to sign up and you'll get the breakdown of every single thing I used on the live stream. Okay, so I'm going to use this middle color right here. Whoops, there it is, middle. And I'm going to put it in the very outer edge using the same brush. And I'm pulling that in. See how I do that? So we're trying to, again, we're making our eyes pop. So we're doing that concealer and that outer edge. And I'm just mainly keeping that on that edge right there. Now, if you have hooded lids, this is a great trick. The other trick with hooded lids, and I am going to do, I want to do a whole session. I think I did hooded lids a couple, maybe last month, but I think I want to do one for not hooded, but when your lid actually goes into your eye. So we can talk about how to do that because there is a whole technique to that that we can go into. But see how even that brought that out even more, just opened up my eye even more. So depending on how hooded your lids are or the condition of your lid, this is a great strategy just to keep it right in there. If your lids are very hooded, you want to keep the focus around your eye. So that's why eyeliner becomes extremely important. I did a live stream on eyeliner. I'll do it again because it had a great response, but it basically, you want that to be really dense around your eye. Now, many people ask, then do I, because I rarely put color underneath. Should you put color underneath or not to bring out your eyes? And I really think this depends on your eye shape. The woman I just worked with the other day, it really did help. We put a little bit of color under her eye and it was a huge difference. On me, it doesn't make that much of a difference, but I will show you how I would do it. So this is this is another brush. I would say own this brush, just a slanted brush. These are fabulous. And I'm going to use the same color I used in the crease just now, the outer edge. And I'm going to use shadow. I'm not going to put pencil under my eye because it is a little too, in my opinion, it's too dense for older eyes. It tends to be too heavy. And I've seen some women who just take an eyeliner and they put it underneath and that's it. And not on top because they can't get it there because of the hooded lid. Now, I completely understand that, but what that does is it brings your eye down even more because you've got the hooded lid and then you've got the darkness underneath and it just kind of goes droop, right? So we're trying to make everything go wee, everything, I always joke, everything needs to go north, right? Your boobs, everything. Try to make everything woo, up we go. All right, so I'm going to go underneath a little bit. Try to get it in the right frame here. So I'm going to go right underneath here with that. I don't tend to go all the way across, although you can if you want to. I have in certain videos gone all the way across and for a particular look. So it just depends on the look you're doing, but just very soft. And I like using eyeshadow underneath on older women because we want that soft diffused look. Or if you use a pencil, for example, like here's a waterproof pencil, then I would put it and then I would blend it in with your slanted brush so that you really work with it so that it softens it way down. If you have a lot of problem with everything bleeding on you, like you put eyeliner on and it ends up down your face, does anybody have that? It's very common to just have lots of bleed. I call it bleeding, where it just like, so that's where using waterproof or water repellent is super important. I will put that in the newsletter, the link for Stila. So this is a Stila eyeliner pencil. Oops, let's go the other direction. This is waterproof. I love Stila's waterproof. They make a great waterproof. So does Urban Decay. If you know Urban Decay, love them. Another concealer brand I didn't mention that is one of my favorites. So besides MAC, an amazing concealer, Cover FX. It's COVERFX, Cover FX. Fantastic concealers. I love their concealers. I also love NARS Creamy Concealer. That works beautifully. That's more of like a concealer highlight as opposed to just a concealer. So I think if you don't need a ton of coverage, NARS is really good. If you want a ton of coverage, go with MAC or Amazing Concealer or Cover FX. They're all really, really, really good. You'll have no problem with any of those. And then eyebrow stuff, I don't think you need to spend a ton on eyebrow stuff, be honest with you. Like mine are, I mean, I use NYX a lot for my eyebrow gel. I'm out. I'm just waiting for it to arrive. That works great. Or you can go very, very inexpensive. I think NYX is like maybe $10 or $12 for one, eyebrow stick. So that's great. And I think Merit, I can't remember how much this cost. I think they sent this one to me, but just go on and price eyebrow gels. I think the key component is to get one that is got a little color to it, because the clear ones tend to set on our brows and look kind of soapy and weird. So try to get one with a bit of color. But again, you can even try the drugstore brands and just see. I don't think these makeup products, in particular eyebrows and, blushes and even lipsticks, you don't have to spend a heap of money. I would spend your money on your foundation, your concealer, your skincare. Absolutely. Oh, your money really needs to go to your skincare. This is my 2 bits worth. Spend your money on your serum. Serum is the number one thing to get. Get a really good vitamin C serum with tetrahexadecyl ascorbate, THGA. I put it in the chat there. And it'll be on my email. So, those are the ones you want to focus on, because that's going to have the biggest bang for buck with your skincare. And if your skin looks great, you put makeup on, it looks even better. So, and then spend a little bit of money. I think getting a good foundation is very important. If you wear foundation, I wear it every so often, but that kind of set nicely. So anyway, this looked a little light earlier, but I think it looks okay now. Okay, so we're 1 minute out. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate everybody coming. I'm so grateful that you watch and that you tune in, and I want you to know how much I appreciate all of you, and love doing these live things. And let me know if you have any live shows you particularly are interested in, or videos. You can always email me at Suzanne@thebeautyshaman.com. I'd love to hear from you. I really do. Believe me, I will answer you. I'm very like, hi. So yeah, I'm like your best girlfriend. So yeah, do that. And I wish you guys a great Saturday. So yes, Kat, thank you so much for coming. Melinda, Atna, and my friend Donna. So thank you so much, Tamra. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming. I really appreciate you. And I will do another one, probably in another 3 weeks. I'll do another one of these. So please tune in for that. And so again, sorry about the link mess up this morning. It wasn't my fault. All right. Take care. Have a great Saturday. Bye.